this video would be the last video on editing and making your Plotagon movies. So the next videos would be, editing in another software or your editing apps to cut out the time lapses and all of that. So in this video, we're going to be concluding the Plotagon or making your Plotagon movies. So I'm going to be showing you guys some questions I also have was can your Plotagon's characters eat? Can your Plotagon character make phone calls? Can your Plotagon characters even kill somebody? That is like violent actions and the likes. So I think I've told you guys that Plotagon doesn't allow violent actions, but there's a way you can make your characters kill each other. It's just a funny method, but you can still be creative with that. So first of all, let's try to make our characters make a phone call. So naturally your characters can't place the phone to their ear in Plotagon. They can't place the phone to their ear, but there are clothes. There are clothes that their characters can wear, and then they would have the phone placed to their ear. Let me show you one of those clothes. So look at this character here. This guy, he has a Bluetooth to his ear, so you can use this guy. Let's say he has this Bluetooth to his ear. You can use him and say, okay, yeah, he has a phone to his ear or something. But let me show you the one I was talking about, mainly the clothes. Okay, now this is a random character, but I just want to show you guys, making your characters have a phone with them. So you just come here to it. Let's say you have already designed all of these, you have covered all of this, then you are now looking for a top for him to wear. So for that particular scene that you are creating, you have to dress the person up with a phone with him. So let me look for, there's a clothes that has phone attached to them. Alright, so this is one here. This is one. Let's wait while it loads and check for another. Okay, it has loaded already. So you can see your character with the smartphone in his hand. You can see. So just imagine you are making a character that is a businessman or business person, and then you can put a smartphone with him, and that's all you can have to do for that scene. Then for the next scene, I told you guys you have to export that scene as a video and create another scene and then change your character's outfit. Or I think there's another one, this is another one here. So this one now, if you are creating a young boy or a young character and you want to put a smartphone with him, then you can do this as well. But remember, your character can't put the phone to their ear, so they can only hold the phone and show off with the phone. So that is one of the methods you can have your characters hold a smartphone. The other one I will be showing you guys is making actual phone calls with your characters. So alright, let's start from this scene. Remember, the scene here was Faye and Jane Doe walking back from the hospital, and Jane Doe was crying because she had the virus, while Faye was very, very irritated and annoyed at her. So then next thing that I want to show you guys is how to make your characters make a phone call, right? So what I do is use a scene called split screen red and blue, or split screen white and black. So those are the two scenes that I use basically for making my characters have a phone call. So this would place my characters side by side and have them talking to each other. So it would be as if they are in different positions, but we want them to be in the same place at the same time through a phone call. So now you have to establish shot. You have to work with establishing shot. You don't want to skip establishing shot, because you have to make sure your audience hears that a phone is ringing, and then the character picks it and it shows. So for this, I use two scenes. I use the split screen red and blue, remember, and split screen white and black. So I can use the split screen white and black first, and then use split screen red and blue. But I just use the same scene in this context. So the first part, I established shot here. I made our character here. I made him the only one. The caller, I made the person show first. So yeah, I made the caller show first. So it's one calling, definitely he would be the one with the phone or anything. So before that, I added cell phone ringing. Before this scene ended, I added cell phone ringing. So why did I add cell phone ringing? So it's going to play with this scene, and it will look as if this guy is making a phone call to someone. And then this next scene which would show our character that is being called appear, I skipped establishing shot. So I didn't establish shot here, but I established shot here for the phone to ring, and then I skipped establishing shot here, and then I added our character here. So just ignore this guy. But I was telling you guys about someone holding a smartphone. So now this way I can have a dialogue with both of them, and that is them making a phone call. And if you want the phone call to end, you can simply add sound effects. You can go to sound effects and then do pick for cell phone disconnect. Alright, it's not cell phone disconnect but phone call disconnect. You can add that sound effect down there. So after you've made your phone call with your partner, then you can add phone call disconnect. So why is it important to add the sound effect? It's very, very important because you want to carry your audience along. You want them to feel that, okay, yes, this, you are not just making a video, a normal video. You're trying to make your video, even though it's limited, even though you have some limitations, you're trying to make your audience understand every scene you're bringing in. So remember, backdrops will help you set the tone of your scene, and then sound effects is also help your scene come alive more. So you don't just want to make your characters have dialogues alone. No, the sound effects will make them make those dialogues look real. So there are lots of sound effects you can work with as well. So this is all for making your characters make phone calls. Now let's go into the next one and end this Plotagon editing tutorial. So this one is to kill a character. Basically, you're not meant to kill your characters if you're making normal educative content, but I was making some content about drug dealers and everything in my own Plotagon movie. So definitely you have to kill some characters. So what I do, basically, I had to kill our character Jane Doe. And how did I do that? So I remember I set the backdrop of day to night. So I established shots for that. Set the backdrop of day to night to show that, okay, yes, we're in the evening right now, and no more in daytime when they were coming back from the hospital. So that is what that helped me to do. Oh, sorry, wait, let me show you that phone call stuff. Let me show it to you. I'm sorry, guys. So let's start from here and let's see how this turns out. Okay, there was a mistake there because this guy was not in this scene. So it was Raphael that was in this scene. So we have to change this guy to Raphael. Alright. So just ignore the characters I'm using. Just what you are learning, basically.
Hello, Jane.
Now you can see what happened there. So normally they're meant to have a conversation, but I didn't use any conversation. So let's just move on to the next thing about killing the character, which is Jane, right? So now I've added the backdrop day to night, and show that I do in the evening already. And now I added this one. So I just skipped establishing shot since I've already established shot with the backdrop. Do you understand? When I use the backdrop and I've established shot with that backdrop, then I don't need to still establish shot here again. I just have to skip establishing shot and then move on to what we want to do. So these characters are closed, and that is why there's action, so they can actually have some action, maybe do things. So if you want to kill a character in Plotagon, you have to make sure your characters are close to each other for this action button to be activated, and then they can do what they want to do. So let's imagine Jane Doe slapped the fireman. She slapped the guy, and then he was surprised and everything. Then he got annoyed. Remember, emotions play a big role in your Plotagon movies. So he got annoyed, and then what I use is force choke. That is the action I use to kill a Plotagon character. So you see, these are the actions that your Plotagon characters can do to each other. But there are actions your Plotagon characters can do themselves. But to each other, these are the only limited actions that they can do. So, and there's no anyone here that can say killing someone. The only one you can do highest is push, shake, and force choke. So you can use one of these. You can say let's say push, that, and then he force choked or something. Let's add it another one again. So fireman force choked Jane Doe. You can also work with your camera angles. You can set it to different mode where you want it to be. So, but since you want it to look as if it happened real, then you don't want to use wide shot. You just want to make it up close, so people won't really see this. Imagine someone choking someone and look at the distance. God. So in interaction mode, this is better. So now, what I do after that is I add someone screaming, until lady screaming. There's no man screaming in Plotagon, so I just had woman screaming, and then I also make the person that they choked to have an heart attack. So this heart attack now is to make the person fall down or something, and after that the next thing just be like end the scene and show that okay, maybe I use a text to show okay Jane Doe was killed by the fireman and or stuff like that. So let me play this for you guys to see what I'm talking about. Alright, let's start from the backdrop. She slapped him. He was surprised and he got annoyed, and he pushed her first and then he choked her. So then this one screamed. She had an heart attack and she screamed and died. So that, but if you see what happened at this point here, it's as if she had an attack and then came back. So, but remember using our editing app, I want to cut out that part. So it's very, very good. And in this scenes now, there are lots of places I can add sound effects, like maybe car on or people passing by or stuff like that. So I hope you understand how to make a movie with Plotagon at this stage. You should have understand how to make movies with Plotagon. And remember, practice makes perfect. Nothing good comes easy. Just keep practicing and you get better by making more movies and all of that. So if you found this video informative and you're getting something interesting, remember to subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, and if you have questions, to leave a comment. And if you have friends that you want to help, you want to introduce this to them, then you can share this video to them and let them learn something new. We have come to the end of this tutorial. I've come to the end of the Plotagon editing tutorial, making your movie with Plotagon. The next videos that I will be making would be on editing your videos off Plotagon, that is editing your videos in an editing app, and are going to be using Camtasia, Active Presenter, or smartphone apps as well. And then we'll now move into monetization, that is making money with your Plotagon movies. Alright guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. My name is Musa. Stay blessed.